Folks, welcome back to Force Takeaways. I'm your host, Tony Ballgame. Joined with me, as always, Jake the Snake on the
What's
line.
up?
We are pretty much going to just be discussing the coach firings and hirings and retainments, I guess, of some of the coaches and GMs that we're a little surprised by or annoyed by. And then, of course, the playoffs, the wildcard weekend playoffs, the 4-6 games that are going to be occurring from Saturday to Monday. And let's get started, I guess, with probably the biggest and probably most impactful coach firing that there was. Well, first, let's just go. I'm gonna go through all the coaches that were fired, and then we're gonna talk
Okay.
about the
Let's
biggest
list
one.
them out. Brian
So,
Callahan.
in no particular order, Falcons fired Raheem Morris. The Titans fired Brian Callahan. That was in the middle of the season. Cleveland fired Stefanski. The Giants fired Daboll. That was like months ago at this point too. Raiders fired Pete Carroll. Cardinals fired John Gannon, and the Ravens, like last night, like yesterday afternoon, fired John Harbaugh after 18 years at the helm of the Baltimore Ravens. And then additionally, the Falcons also fired their GM, Terry Fontenot, and Miami fired their GM, Chris Greer. But yeah, we're going to talk about Harbaugh first. I think many people were sort of predicting this. It wasn't that hot of a take or that crazy of a thing to conceive of, just because I think I saw since 2018, the Ravens have 3 playoff wins. And that's just... I'm frankly surprised that Harbaugh's state of lasted this long, because I feel like this has been an ongoing thing for the past 4 or 5 years or longer, of the Ravens like losing games in the playoffs that they should have won in like spectacular fashion. It feels like it's happened like 5 or 6 times, and you can even count the final game of this season that just wrapped up here, so the Sunday night game between the Steelers and Ravens. That was essentially a playoff game for the division win and a spot in the playoffs, and the Ravens had an outrageously disappointing and embarrassing loss in the final moments of that game as well. It just
And
added onto the pile, and it was just too much.
no.
It just feels like it was Harbaugh's he's a great coach, and he did a lot for the Ravens, but it was just time to move on. It's 18 years. Like, they're showing I've been seeing people and news places posting the videos of when he was hired with the Ravens in whatever, like 2008, and the footage of that time looks old. It's crazy. It makes me feel old. Like, I'm like, what are they? This looks like he was hired in 1989, but it was 2008, and it's just like low definition footage, and it's just crazy how long he's been there. But it just ran out, and you feel like his message was just sort of getting a little stale, and there's the playoff losses just piled up, and it was just over.
Do you think he lost the locker room officially by being fired?
I mean, by being fired, he lost the locker room. Like, he couldn't find it. He was getting confused, and he lost it, as in like he didn't know where it was physically.
It honestly seems like he's like a big asshole. But like he's like better at like self-marketing than his brother, because like his brother's just an insane guy who can't shut the fuck up. And I think John just knows how to shut the fuck up a little better. I think it was like last week, there was like this column came out that was like talking about how Lamar Jackson probably like needs to go, and like he's late to meetings, he fell asleep in a meeting, he doesn't try hard in practice. And this is my favorite part of it, which is like, so you remember when people were like, oh, like I don't like basketball players wearing long shorts. Like, it was just like the weirdest racist dog whistle. Like, there was like a weird racist dog whistle where it's like he plays video games too much. Like, he's up late playing video games too much and isn't committed to the team. And it was clearly like, I guess this columnist, he writes for the Baltimore Sun, I believe, is like a huge prick, and like everyone kind of hates him. He's like, every town has just like
Yeah.
a shitty little fucker that writes for the newspaper. There's one in Oklahoma City that's pretty famous.
Yeah, Denver has one as well.
Yeah, and it was very clear that like all this information was just like leaked either by John Harbaugh himself or like Harbaugh's camp, whatever the fuck that means. Like, is it like his manager or just like an equipment boy he like promised the world to? I don't know
his
what a
personal
camp
assistant.
is. Like, yeah, I hate that. That's like one of my least favorite like journalistic colloquialisms. Like Harbaugh's camp. Um, but yeah, he would just like clearly trying to like leverage him as the guy that's not the problem. Like by leaking all this information out, and it was just shitty and embarrassing. And the guy seems like a big dumb prick. Like you have like the greatest athlete that's ever played the quarterback position, um, in Lamar Jackson. Like he's clearly not the problem, and you're alienating him from the entire team by doing that shit. So like that alone, I don't blame them for moving on from Harbaugh. Get a younger coach in there. Um, Kind of revamp everything in the front office, I guess, as well. Because like if you don't win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson, like you're wasting his fucking career.
Yeah, it's outrageous that he's never even been really all that close to a Super Bowl. I think they've made the AFC Championship maybe like once or twice,
Hmm.
but they have not even been in a Super Bowl. And he's a two-time MVP, and yeah, widely considered like one of the just
He gets better
most
every year.
singularly talented
Holy
players that of guys
shit.
who's
He can
ever
make
laced them up.
he can make every throw. He can make every throw at any part of the field. He's an insanely talented runner with the ball. He's an insanely talented processor. Like he's like the perfect quarterback for this generation.
Right.
Could you imagine Lamar Jackson with the roster, the offense that the Eagles have right now? He would create new records. He wouldn't just
Or
break records. There would be some fucking thing that he did for the first time ever with that talent around him.
he would throw for
And
like 6,000 yards or something.
yeah, insane. He'd throw for like 10 touchdowns in a game with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. And like who's he have? Like Mark Andrews. And then that guy that can't fucking catch the ball, whose name I can't even remember right now because
Yeah,
who the
DeAndre
fuck cares?
Hopkins.
And 32-year-old DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, there was a weird moment at the end of that game, at the end of the Steelers Ravens game, where he just kind of like stopped running or like had like a
Yeah, and
very
looks
bad
confused.
miscue, and then was like put his arms up, and it's like, buddy, this is the most important moment of the entire season, and you just
Zay
kind of gave
Flowers.
up.
Zay
Okay,
Flowers,
so
Rashad Bateman, and DeAndre Hopkins. That's who he's throwing the ball to.
they made the AFC Championship. Lamar Jackson's been in the AFC Championship one time, and they lost to the Chiefs.
And that defense was absolutely decimated all season long. Like the hits just kept coming. It's like that meme of the Grim Reaper going down the hallway. And it was
Yeah,
just like
knocking on
all
the
pro
door.
after
Yeah,
all pro. And then he went down to the Pro Bowlers. And it's like, holy shit.
and then it culminated in Kyle Hamilton getting I mean, it's just unfortunate the way he got hit by his own player. They smacked each other. They both had to get tested for a concussion when they sort of like weirdly like went around a Steelers player and smacked into each other, and then Kyle Hamilton was out of the game after that. It was
Yeah,
really
dude.
just unfortunate.
Brain so good it gave me a concussion. Type shit.
So the Ravens have only had 3 coaches in their whole experience and their whole time as a
And the
franchise. So
history, him,
yeah,
Brian Billick,
I'll give
and
you a
who else?
thousand dollars if you can name their first head coach.
Okay.
He
Fuck.
coached the ball. He coached the Baltimore Colts in the 70s. That's how old he was.
Okay. Buster McDingus.
It was Ted Marchibroda, who
Okay.
also was a player, I think. For
And sounds like a teamster. He sounds like a union guy that's like taking weird money. Ends up getting stabbed at a diner.
the Ted Marchibroda Memorial Union Hall, Plumbers Union Hall.
Hey, you don't fuck with plumbers. You want to fuck a plumber, you don't want to fuck with them.
Could have sworn he was a
All
plumber
right.
too. Anyway, yeah. So you talked about how Lamar Jackson is such a great player for this generation, this era of football. I think Harbaugh kind of represents the previous era of football. I think he kind of Harbaugh is like a 2000s style coach.
Yeah, give me a big guy that can't move has an arm on him.
Yeah, he won the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco in his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th season as head coach. And didn't really. They only made the conference championship one time after that.
What did he
It's
have to say about the Ray Rice incident?
after 2012? Oh God, I'm sure he defended him.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'm
If you could
positive
vamp
he
real
said.
quick.
I know for a fact Mary sent me a picture of him at the Israeli embassy in like 2015 or something, being like, "We always stand behind Israel." So he's you just know what kind of guy he is. And you know him and Harbaugh are like super like Catholic and like anti-abortion and shit too, right? Also,
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Harbaughs are
so
fucking like insane, like MAGA Catholic guys.
he'll get
So
another head coach job. There's no doubt about that. But
there was a lenient suspension. He kind of defended Ray Rice. He supported him. And then the video came out, and he was like, "Well, this changes things. I can't cover for him anymore because you see what he did. So I don't like him, I guess." What a prick! What an absolute loser prick! I don't know if he'll get another job. Like, I don't know if he'll get a good job. Like, maybe he becomes a TV guy for a year or two. Like, he'd be perfect for CBS. Like, he'd be the best, like, CBS analyst dude. Just like kind of a boring old guy who, like, as the two generations above us continue to die off, like, it's the last thing they see. It's just him, like, in a bad suit next to Bill Cowher.
Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, well, there's been a big, the quote unquote NFL insiders, quote unquote reporters, the guys who are just getting texts from agents and writing verbatim what they tell them to write. Those people have been posting a lot of stuff about how Harbaugh's getting. He actually has 400 interviews scheduled, and he has more interviews scheduled than there are teams looking for coaches, which implies that the teams that have not fired their head coach are interested in interviewing Harbaugh, which is, I mean, that's what's being reported. I don't know which teams it is, or like, I guess I bet you can probably imagine what teams it are. The teams that were bad that didn't fire their head coach, aka the Bengals. Who we can talk about the Bengals, I guess now, sticking in the AFC North. Made a big announcement that they're retaining Zach Taylor and whatever GM guy they have, which is when
the Brown family, they just fucking they resent their fans. Like, they just don't hate their fans. They resent them. It like goes deeper than a hatred. And they're like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You remember you're complaining about us not paying our best player on defense? Well, eat shit. You get another year of Zach Taylor. I'm gonna cash another $1 billion over the next 3 years. Fuck you. You're gonna give me your money, you fucking idiots.
We talked about this before. I made it the picture of the podcast that week, is that the Browns owner dresses like a cartoon homeless person from the 20s. I'll never forget when they won the AFC Championship and they have the, of course they bring out the owner who gets to hold the trophy first and gets to talk first. And I remember being like, that's what the Bengals owner looks like? He looks like the Beggar's Pizza character. He's like dressed in rags. He's wearing a hat that's like sweat stained and all folded up. I was like, put on a fucking suit, dude. Your dad like invented the West Coast offense. Could you fucking wear why does he look like a little reporter from the Superman comic book? Like, this is unbelievable. Like, he is a loathsome character in a very loathsome cast of characters, aka NFL owners. Like, he's one of just the most grossest ones. And if you look at the Bengals fans' response to this, them retaining the coach, first of all, it's bad when you have to make an announcement that you're not firing the coach. Like, that typically means, hey everybody, I know we've sucked shit for the past 3 years, but guess what? We're sticking with our guy. Like, it's not good to make that announcement. Like, normally you just don't say anything if you're keeping the coach. But the fact that you had to make a whole thing that was like, no, hello, yeah, actually we're keeping them, because that means everyone thought you were going to fire him, and you have to make that distinction. So that's not good. And also, what does Zach Taylor do? Like, what is special about him? Like, Is he a defensive guy? Is he an offensive guy? Is he a special teams guy? Like all coaches have like the one thing that they do. Even if they're bad, even if they get fired, it's like, yeah, well, hey, he was a culture guy. Oh, he was a leader of men. Oh, he was a great motivator. Oh, he was a what is Zach Taylor's like secret weapon? It's nothing. He's warm milk. He's like room temperature milk. It's just such a waste of everyone's time. And I feel bad for Bengals fans. When you going on the Bengals Reddit, like you can see people posting the screen caps of them texting their season ticket agents being like, cancel it. And that's the only way they can fight back really is canceling season tickets and not going to games. Like
organizing a walkout on like a nationally televised game. Like remember when the Saints did that? Saints fans did that.
Yeah, that was awesome. When they just stayed. They had it was the primetime game against Denver when Sean Payton was in town. They like honored Sean Payton and the 2009 Super Bowl team, and then everyone left the second that was over. It was like a Monday night game. That was so cool.
Yeah, that's the smartest shit you can do.
Shit like that's all they have in their pocket.
Well, it's like Titans fans. They're canceling their season tickets in droves, and they were like begging for him to fire Callahan. And then they did, and like, but fans are still canceling their season tickets hand over fist. And they're building a new stadium, like in Nashville, and they're not going to be able to fill it, which is hilarious. It's just like terrible ownership. They think like, oh, we have this thing, and everybody wants it, so we can do whatever we want. And then you start to see like, I don't know, your consumer base reject your practices, and like you're just gonna get angry, and like because you're such a brain dead rich person, like you're not gonna be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, we need to do this. We actually need to put a product out that people enjoy consuming, because that's not really, those aren't like American business values anymore. It's having like the best margins imaginable so everyone gets their quarterly bonuses and you print as much cash as possible, and then everyone else beneath you fucking suffers. The people that work at your stadium don't have health care. Your fans don't want to come to your shitty, depressing game, but you're still cashing in. And like that is America right there in a nutshell. That is this entire fucking country. That's this entire capitalistic system. It's right there in front of us. The enemy of the people is the billionaire class, the bourgeoisie class, and they ruin fucking everything. And
they just want to make everything into a subscription service.
As embarrassing as it sounds, you hope that people start to see it in football and then look around them and say, hey, this is also everything else. This is the grocery store. This is healthcare. This is my job.
Housing.
Enough is fucking enough. Housing, everything. The postal service. Enough is fucking enough. We have the numbers. We have the power. And then you start to display it over a football coach, but not in other walks of life. And it's so frustrating.
No.
This is a symptom. This is a fucking symptom of a disease that is rotting us. But anyway, yeah, I wonder who they're going to hire. Maybe John Harbaugh.
Well, we could talk about another sort of failure of a franchise. The Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon, and right before I hopped on the call here, I was watching the Cardinals press conference.
Pew, pew, pew.
I was watching the press conference of the owner and the GM, Michael Bidwell and Monty Ossenfort's press conference. And Arizona,
so stupid.
Shout out to the Arizona media. They were kind of grilling him. They were kind of asking the tough questions, and they were kind of floundering a little bit because it's like Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort were brought in at the same time. So it's this unspoken thing of Bidwell. They both keep saying like, well, you just know, the team hasn't shown any improvement, and there hasn't been enough wins. There's been too many wins, too many losses, and not enough wins in the years that he was here. And it's like, well, what about the other guy? Because he has been there the same exact time, produced the same exact results, probably on like a worse scale, really. Like, so I think he probably knows
first-round draft picks on defensive linemen that get hurt and can't play. That's their whole fucking thing. It's like, well, we're gonna build from the line of scrimmage, and then they pick the worst fucking building materials that can't withstand just like any environment, and not even a storm. Like you can't get these guys on the fucking field. But of
They didn't
course,
win.
he's
They
like
didn't
a
win a
bald rich
game
guy.
since Brissett was named the starter
Yeah, they
in
lost
whatever,
every
like
single game.
week like 8 or something. They did
Yeah,
not win a single game, and I I'm a little surprised that they didn't fire the GM at the same time, or
he
like
sucks.
keep Jonathan Gannon and fire Monty Austin for it. Like I don't know, because that's the other thing is that they kept being like. They were like, all right, we just want everyone to know Jonathan Gannon, he's so great. He was awesome. He's an incredible coach. He's so smart. He did a lot of great things for our culture, but we fired him. And we're keeping the other guy who also sucks.
Also, he didn't do
I
any
don't
of
get
those things. He was a terrible head coach. He hit the
it.
player on the sideline.
Oh,
His whole
yeah.
his whole thing was, I'm a defensive coach, and their defense was fucking awful.
Yeah, they gave up during their losing streak. Here's how many points they gave up in all these games. 44, 41, 27, 20, 45, 44, 26, 37, and 37.
It was so bad, and, like, at the
Defensive
beginning of the year,
specialist.
they were decent enough with the guys that they had, right? They were bend, don't break. They would give up a ton of fucking yards, especially through the air, but their red zone defense was, like, top 5 in the league, and it was impressive. But that's not sustainable. If you're not getting to the quarterback, it doesn't matter how you're doing in the red zone. Their linebackers suck too. Their best corner is an undersized rookie with injury concerns who, guess what, got hurt in the middle of the season. Like they're just so bad at putting a team together. And they shouldn't be, because for whatever reason, I mean, I'm one of these imbeciles who moved to Arizona thinking it would be a desirable place to be. So, having a warm winter would be cool, but it just fucking sucks and is nasty. It should be like, hey, you're going to live in Paradise Valley. The income tax here is very small. The fucking property tax isn't bad. Like, there are benefits for rich people to move here. So you'd think they'd be able to attract athletes to come here and, like, okay, so you can't build a winning team through free agency alone. That's stupid. But you'd think you could at least,
Have an
like,
advantage.
have an advantage with your locale, and they can't even do that right. They took out an entire section. They removed thousands of seats from State Farm Stadium, the Red Sea, which was like their fans, right?
Like the
Like
fan
that's
zone,
like their
yeah.
black hole. They took all of those seats out and replaced them with casitas
With
that cost
luxury
forty
suites.
thousand dollars to rent for a game.
Really?
Because they want, yeah, because they would
40,000?
40,000. It's like $30,000 to $40,000 depending on the package you get, and they're just these little tin sheds that don't have bathrooms in them that you drink in, and you get to watch the game from the field level. But nobody wants to watch the fucking game. It sucks there. Everyone's angry. No one's happy at a Cardinals game. You know what? You know who goes to Cardinals games besides opposing fans? Um, Guys that are fucking angry and drunk and have to ride a bike to work because they have too many DUIs. It's just a guy in a Pat Tillman jersey who thinks he's wearing the name of a man that represents, like, um American patriotism and military pride. Like that's how dumb they are.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Cardinals website. They have like a high quality video of the Casitas seats, and it just looks
They're
like
bad. They're
like
like
a
tough
shitty
sheds.
it looks like a lame outdoor seating place at like a gentrified bar in
And that's all
downtown of a
Arizona is.
major city.
Gentrified, it's chain restaurants and gentrified bars. And there's just so much like Bidwell is just so removed from reality and does not listen to the fans at all. There are real Arizona Cardinal football fans, and I have met them and I've talked to them, and they want this team to be good. They really do. They were passionate. They still talk about the Kurt Warner era and the Carson Palmer era with
Mhm.
excitement in their voice. They love Larry
Yeah.
Fitzgerald, and like, what if? anybody would if they had a receiver like that with that loyalty and that production. One of the best receivers of the generation. But Bidwill does not care. He just wants to make money. He is the worst type of owner. And I believe he's a second generation owner as well, because his
Yeah,
family has owned the team. I believe they relocated them to Arizona.
from St.
His
Louis.
dad
Yeah,
did, yeah. And all they want to do is make money, and it's just so transparent. It's so bold faced and transparent. When I was at the Arizona Cardinals game this year, they did a salute to a veteran, and the veteran's act of heroism was saving an aircraft that was worth tens of millions of dollars. So even when they honor a veteran for his sacrifice, it's
it's
still
about money.
about it's about money and protecting private property. And it's just so transparently gross and wrong and backwards.
Yeah,
Just
so
like
I don't have a lot of confidence in the Cardinals of like turning it around. Like they
no.
caught they caught the Super Bowl season. They kind of caught lightning in a bottle, and they're just kind of expecting that again. And that's what these fail son second generation NFL owners often do.
God,
Is that
seriously.
they just are like, hey, I have one of the 32 businesses that like most profitable businesses that you could even imagine. I don't give a shit about what like they might say they
Yeah.
do, and they might truly be like, no, I want to win and blah blah blah. But like then when it comes down to make the decisions to do it, they're like, no, just do the cheap one. Like
Look, I know you guys are
that's what the
frustrated.
Bengals.
That's why we're bringing you the ultimate fan experience if you're a corporation that can afford a $40,000 ticket.
Yeah, the Raiders
Um,
too, and they fired Pete Carroll. They're one of these teams as well. And that's also a second generation fail son owner
oh
who
God,
has
probably the biggest doofus.
not done anything right really since he got the team, inherited the team from his evil crypt keeper ass dad. Who I talk a lot of shit about Al Davis, but like he was an innovator in football and like create
He's a fucking
he
ball,
was a guy that
right?
gave a shit and like wanted to win
Yeah.
for real
He
and
was a
like
renegade. He was
and did
cool.
put together winning teams for real. And these guys just kind of think they can coast on that, just coast on that, and it just doesn't
His
work.
his dad was like a countercultural figure who shook up like a very stuffy system, and like that is cool. Being
Yeah.
iconoclastic like that, that is fucking cool. His son is everything that he hated. His son is just an inbred, thick-tongued looking doofus, a fat guy with a bad haircut and a shitty tracksuit
A
with a
really bad
24-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, did you see that he
It's
was like,
bad.
yeah, did you see that when he was like, yeah, when we met, she didn't even know I was a billionaire. She just loved me. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I bet she didn't know you were a billionaire when you guys met at the fucking Eyes Wide Shut party on the
Yeah.
82nd floor of a penthouse. I'm sure she was like, oh, this guy,
Seriously,
what
yeah.
is he a cash register at CVS? Like, I'm pretty sure she fucking knew, buddy. But yeah, go off. Yeah. So, and as far as the Raiders,
Rich people are just a fucking scourge, man.
yeah, there's
Absolute fucking scourge. And it's like, it's amazing how people like refuse to see it. I think that is the biggest disappointment in my adult life is that we see what's wrong and gross, but we don't admit it. There's so much cognitive dissonance that goes on day to day in this country.
Well, people are
Because
just powerless, and people are tricked. People have been either brainwashed or they've just been beaten down to where they don't think they can actually affect change, and they're right in some ways.
man, dude, if we could just like apparently I think it's like too big to fail because like people can't afford to strike. But if you get the numbers, you can keep the power company from shutting off your power. You can keep the fucking sheriff from coming and evicting you from your house. There's
Yeah.
more of us than there are of them.
It's about
And
organization. Like all of this information is useful without organizing it. Like this, like that. Not to get on too much of a tangent, but like the Epstein files, I feel like that's a big like they just keep releasing it because it's just a mountain of data. It's just like billions and billions of characters of data,
yeah,
and
they've
I think
released less than 1% of them or something.
their logic is like, yeah, what are they going to do with it? They look at what they're doing in the world with Venezuela and all this stuff and Israel. Like they know they can just do whatever they want without zero repercussions because there's no concerted effort to force them to face repercussions. Like, so their read of the situation is like, yeah, release the files. Who gives a shit? What are they going to do? What are they going to do with it? What are they going to put together? Because he clearly is just like an openly racist pedophile, and there's no pushback. There's no like repercussions. Like the Democrats might like wag their finger and be like, no, tut tut, but like,
Yeah, this is not civil.
He's not gonna go to jail. He's not gonna like face real repercussions for it at all. So they're like, yeah, who gives a fuck? Just release it. And let people flip out about it. And then you got the Alex Jones, like QAnon guys who have made their whole careers on talking about how there's a secret pedophile cabal, and then now that the actual secret pedophile cabal has been unveiled, they're like, actually Somalians are committing fraud is the thing we care about now, is that some people, like 4 guys stole like a couple $100 from a daycare. Like that's actually our biggest, most pressing issue now, not the pedophile cabal that we've been talking about for 20 years and has actually been unveiled.
We need a class war. Well, I mean, there is a class war right now.
Yeah,
it's just non-violent. Yeah. We need to flex some fucking muscle. There needs to be some. I can't say it. I'll get in trouble. But
somebody should do something, is what we're trying to say.
Somebody
should do something.
All of us. But we're too comfortable because it is nice. It's nice to feel cozy and watch movies with my family. I get it. But also, like, it's, I don't know. I bet I sound so stupid right now.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of pedophile cabals, the Cleveland Browns also fired Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski seems like one of the guys who's most likely to get. He'll be a sought after like guy, but the Raiders and the Browns are 2 examples of teams where I'm like, yeah, if I'm like a Harbaugh or Stefanski, I have no interest in going to the Raiders obviously Stefanski's not going to go back to the Browns, but like that's not a very desirable job, the Raiders and Browns.
Oh, absolutely
I feel like after watching them step in their own shit for the past 20 years, like I don't know if that's that desirable of a place to work.
Why didn't Andrew Berry get fired too? Like that's such like you brought up Monty Austin for keeping his job. Why does Andrew Berry keep his job after giving the worst contract in sports?
Yeah, I mean, part of that is I do think the owners are all still pretty mad about that. So I don't think he would even get a job. He might be out of football forever once he gets fired, because that's how mad the owners are for that contract. Not the sex stuff, not the assault that Watson committed, but the guaranteed money is what really boils their blood. So
yeah, it's all they care about, man.
If they even have blood flowing through their veins, it's probably just sludge. But
and okay, also speaking of, Myles Garrett broke like a big record, and we kind of touched on this last week a little bit. But do you think that is because like all of the owners got in Goodell's ear and they're like, "Do not make this a thing. Don't stop the game. Don't give this media coverage," because fuck the Browns, and like they're ruining our game by guaranteeing contracts, by giving people the money that they actually deserve. I mean, not in Deshaun Watson's case, but like that's like their big fear is like we're not going to be able
to fucking up the money. They touch the money.
Give people a shiesty fucking contract anymore.
I think that's got to be part of it. I think that I do, and I
because they just kind of mentioned it during the broadcast, and like then he like
stop the game though.
He got like a standing ovation. But there should have been like a ceremony, man. Like they should have like given him a ball or something, or like a plaque. Like that's a big fucking deal.
Well, first of all, I think there's a couple things.
You're not even cutting into like other broadcasts. Like I had to go to that game because I saw it on my phone. I got a notification, and then I had to rewind it because I looked what quarter and how much time was on the clock when he got it. When I looked at the little replay on my phone, and then I watched it. So like. Every game should have had like a picture-in-picture type of thing. And I remember them doing that with the rushing record. Like I watched that game live because I lived in Oklahoma. And of course you got all the Cowboys games there. But like that was a big deal. They stopped the fucking game. When Drew Brees and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady broke all those records, they stopped the game and like give them a plaque. And they make it a big deal. This is a major deal. That's it's the second most important position in the game in the game, right? Like a sack is the
Yeah.
most important defensive statistic. It's like touchdown passes for
Well,
defense. Like
there's a couple things. First of all, the Zach Taylor was bitching after the game about how long they stopped the game. So I do think they stopped it for like a little bit. But
it
also,
was like two
yeah,
minutes.
it's the thing that I think the Browns are sort of the owners are still mad at them, and that might have played a part in it. And also, as important as sacks are, it's still, I think, see, overall, not that I'm saying this is correct or that I believe this, but I still think it's overall seen as not as important of a record as like touchdown passes or passing yards or even receiving yards or rushing yards. It's just
And
not.
that's dumb. That's a
It
bad
sucks.
perception.
It sucks. It's like in football we have so few measurements of defensive players, especially linemen. Like it's really hard. Like they don't have passing yards. They don't like sacks are kind of the only thing that you can sort of cling to as a lineman. So it should be, yeah, I think it should have been a more important
Like
than it
his
was.
jersey he wore is going to the Hall of Fame,
Oh
obviously.
yeah.
So
Oh
like
yeah.
treat the moment like that. Like it's a big deal. Like it pissed me off. On
Did you just see
I,
Broncos legend Shelby Harris high five the ref after that, right afterwards?
uh-uh. um
I
I have
love
a
him.
question for you though. I was thinking about this last night. Do you think okay, so Garrett, he got the big contract.
Mm,
Um he's earned the big contract this year. Like holy shit, did he
yeah,
earn that money this
more than.
season? Do you think he forces his way out of Cleveland now? Because I understand like oh the contract kind of is like prohibitive, but like it never is.
No,
You can
they always
always
find.
fuck around with it.
Yeah.
Uh he's got his money, he's got his contract, he got his record. Like the dude needs a ring. He's never going to get it in Cleveland. Does
No.
he force his way out this offseason? I think there's a non-zero chance he does, and I wouldn't blame him because at the beginning of the year, they had like a top 3 defensive unit, right? And then
Yeah.
injuries and just like kind of attrition set in. But if they would have had a quarterback and they would have scored like 24 points a game, in between 21 and 24 points a game, the way that defense was playing before they tore it down and traded some key players, um, they would have won the AFC North if they had just a competent offense.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Like
look. Yeah. Look. It
if
came down to the
if
last
they
day
had
between two shitty teams in the AFC North. So if they would have had their shit together even a little bit, yeah,
if
yeah.
they had Daniel Jones or a quarterback of like as a mid tier quarterback, right? A top 18 type of quarterback. They would have been winning games the way that defense was playing. And they're
They're
just
also
so incompetent at every level that they wasted a generational defense at the beginning of the season and a performance, a Hall of Fame performance, and they're going to be picking in the top 5 again.
yeah. They also have
He
that.
has to leave.
The
He has
receivers
more
are not.
dignity than to play for the Browns. He
Yeah.
deserves better.
As far as Miles Garrett goes, like I saw the Bill Simmons comment that was like, you're on the Browns, buddy. You know they're bad. You shouldn't be complaining." It's like, he's allowed to complain. I don't
Yeah.
think I
He's
don't I
allowed
don't
to demand greatness, you fucking pud.
I
You
don't
impotent moron.
I'm not really fucking with the idea that it's like, you played for the Browns, buddy. You're not allowed to complain. It's like he he
God.
he has to have some leverage, some power to do that. Like I understand that he could have left in the previous offseason. And now, I think he also make the comment that was like, yeah, I'm not interested in being part of a rebuild. That was kind of what sort of kicked this all off, is people being like,
So,
if you didn't want to be on a rebuilding team, you're in the wrong place, pal. But yeah, he
but
should
with the
force his way
defense
out.
they
I think
had, like
his only shot of being like, he obviously he has zero chance of winning a championship with Cleveland. So
he's not
he's
even going to go to the playoffs ever
no,
again.
it'll be zero contention percentages with Cleveland. So
They had a capable quarterback and they fucking booed him out of town.
you're talking about Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have done everything in their power to set things up around him better. They should have given him an O line and a competent play caller. Not just, they should have played to his strengths like they're doing in Tampa instead of trying to force him into the play action like Stefanski mold. Like they mishandle everything at every turn all the time, and they hire people that mishandle everything. So like I
Miles
want to
Garrett
blame him for he should leave.
he should go to the Bengals.
He has enough money to say, all right, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah, what
And
if he did?
think
What
about
if he did something drastic like that, like sit out a season?
he's 30, right? Because he was 29 this year, he'll be 30 next year. You probably get 2 first rounds for a 30-year-old Miles Garrett. And before, like, people say, like, oh, well, that's not possible. It's absolutely possible. Micah Parsons just got traded. You see, like, all pro caliber, Hall of Fame caliber players get traded now. That's the way the NFL works.
Dude, but I'm looking at the Browns season stats between Shador, Dylan Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. As a whole team, they only had 2,800 passing yards.
It's fucking pathetic.
That's like 1950s numbers, bro. Like, get Jesus Christ.
Get it together. Who do you think their quarterback is next year? We're spending too much time on the Browns, so we should do this later. My bad. But
Well,
I think it'd be funny if they end up getting Kyler Murray.
they got unless
Because he's done.
unless somebody new comes in, they're just gonna have to go with Shador, and I don't think that's all that bad. I know everyone
It's
is
not the
like
worst.
he had his quarterback rating for the season is 19, and everyone's like, oh, that's so bad, blah blah blah. But the other thing I don't think people are talking about as much is how bad their receivers are. They really don't have
Terrible.
very many good pass catchers. Not to say that it's not like, oh, Shador's a Hall of Fame player if they had better receivers, but like their leading
Give
receiver
him a
is Terrell
chance.
Bannon with 731 yards. Jerry Jeudy had a lot of drops, and Jerry Jeudy's just fucking annoying.
Yeah,
Their
he
third
just
best
sucks,
receiver
right?
is Isaiah Bond. Like they're not helping out a lot. These pass catchers for Cleveland. Sorry.
Isaiah Bond was the guy that had like the assault charge, right? And
Oh,
then
did
didn't
he?
get drafted. Yeah, he seems like the perfect character fit in
Yeah,
Cleveland, if that's
it's
the
a great
case.
great
Cleveland or
culture fit.
Kansas City. Yeah. Um,
Their scrimmage yards leaders was Quinshon Judkins, and honestly that's why that's what I was going to say too. Is that's why I think Andrew Barry was not fired, because they did have they've drafted pretty all right the past couple of
it's a
years, and
mess,
I think
man.
that's part of it. But yeah,
Who
the
goes to
Deshaun
Cleveland
Watson
that can fix this?
the Deshaun Watson shit is hanging over them. And remember there was a okay, this is really the last thing I'll say about the Browns, so we can move on. But do you remember there was sort of a little period there? There was like a 2 or 3 week period when people were like, Deshaun Watson he's not on IR anymore. He's traveling with the team. He's practicing. He might play. It's like, but he will never have another snap in the NFL.
Oh, I disagree. I think after this year, I think if he's healthy come camp, I think they try to like get him out there and be like, it's been a couple years, but he's still Deshaun Watson. Um, and they're giving him all that money. They're going to try to get him on the field. Um, and he like he was a really good quarterback in Houston before the things that he was doing came out. And that kind of cratered him. It seemed to have broken, once people know that you're, you know, a sex monster, an abuser, um, that level of exposure and shame would break any man. Um, but I absolutely personally believe that they are going to try to like get him back on the field.
Yeah, well, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that because I'm looking. He has not. He's essentially been out of football since
For
2020.
yeah, uh-huh.
Like he has not started more than 7 games since 2020. He sat out the whole 2021 season. He sat out all of this season. He hasn't thrown for more than 1,200 yards since Houston. Like, it's not gonna work. Maybe maybe I retract my statement. Maybe he will take another snap in the NFL, but he's not going to be a serious
Oh,
starting
I
quarterback
don't think he'll be
ever.
good or effective, but I do think they try to get him back out there.
I mean,
Um,
they have to.
Maybe they get Brian Dable in there and he can turn things around.
Yeah, let's talk
Anthony.
about big balls, Brian David, real quick.
Yeah, Brian Dayball, he needs a job. He needs something to do because he has been posting on Reddit a lot. He has become a full-time Redditor. I found his Reddit account, and this is his latest post. I'd like to read it to you.
Yeah, please.
It's in R, no stupid questions. It does have the NSFW tag, so if anyone's listening with their kids or if you're under 18, please close your ears for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, skip
Um,
ahead.
All right, here's Brian Daboll's latest Reddit post. The title is "Essentially No Length When Flaccid," uh, and I'm just gonna dive right in. Uh, Brian Dayball writes, "When I am flaccid, I am all ball." In quotes. When I'm flaccid, I am all ball, no length whatsoever. When erect, I am below average, 4.5 to 5 inches, but it works just fine. I am in my 50s and my penis has been this way my whole life. I am overweight now, 5'6", 200 pounds, but I was this way in high school as well, so I don't believe it is a weight issue. It made group nudity events, skinny dipping and the such, embarrassing when I was younger, but the main issue now is urinating. I tend to need to dig to do my business, and now that I am older and the stream tends to have more trickle, it tends to cause more messes, wets the front of my boxers. How common is this condition? Is there a name for it? Is it maybe an indication of a larger issue? And then we got some edits. We got 3 edits at the end. Edit one: I have had issues my whole life. This is not new. When I was younger, I was not obese and I still had the any issue. Edit two is I am able to get and maintain erections just fine. While I don't have a high libido, I am able to achieve full satisfaction. I can still fuck, baby. And edit three is the trickling occurs after I end a long pee with healthy flow. So this guy has way too much time on his hands. He's playing with his penis too much. We got to get him back in football because things are not going well for him right now.
Yeah, he's saying he apparently he has to dig to pee. He's got to dig deep into his heart and find out his passion for the game. I really while you were reading that direct quote from Brian Daboll, I Googled Brian Daboll height, and the little AI Google thing says he's 6'5", which is
No way.
completely
Absolutely
not
not.
true. There's no
You have to be
fucking way in hell.
500 pounds. I'm not fat shaming him, but he should feel bad about how his body looks because it's gross and wrong.
Yeah, he was a safety when he played, which I was a little shocked. I could have sworn he was a lineman based on how he looks, but yeah, there's no way he's even if he's over 6 feet tall, then I'm the Queen of England. Yeah, so Brian Dable, watch. He'll be. Do you think he's an actual real head coach candidate? Do you think he's more of a rehabilitative OC candidate?
I think the latter is more realistic, but if he goes to like, absolute shit show place like Las Vegas or Tennessee or Cleveland, the coaching market is bad this year. There's
Mm.
no like runaway, like this is the guy we have to get. This is the coordinator we need. The the new hot guy from the McVay or Shanahan coaching tree is on the market. It's a very tepid um, market right now. So yeah, I mean, Dayball has a name. He won Coach of the Year, so he's going to get overpaid by a classless organization, no matter what, I believe. But he's probably an OC. And honestly, like he was a good OC. Um, he was the OC at Alabama. They won a Natty. He was the OC that kind of like his offense got Josh Allen off the ground. Because
Yeah.
Josh Allen kind of floundered for a year or two. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
showed progress, but he wasn't who he is now. He wasn't MVP Josh Allen. Um, I hate that I'm about to say this, but com- compared to what we have right now, I wouldn't mind him being the OC in Philly. He
Yeah.
he was Jalen's OC in college for a couple seasons. I think
Oh.
the last time he had the same offensive coordinator for 2 years, it was Brian Daboll at Alabama, and
Wow.
they were that was like Saban's. Those were Saban's Alabama teams. Like he coached them well. He loves that kind of athletic. Like a big athletic quarterback with a huge arm and a bulky frame that he can run into an oblivion. So
Yeah. He is a perfectly capable like play caller. Like
yeah,
I think he'll do fine.
probably not a head coach.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
you're right in that he could be a head coach at a place where he's gonna go have to eat shit like the Raiders, or he could be an OC on like an actually good team.
mhm.
So we'll see.
And I think he has enough of a reputation with like in like the coaching scene that like he will be an OC. I bet he's like a football guy, right? He's like a
Yeah,
loud, gross, brash dude. I'm sure a team would be happy to have him, like as
yeah,
an OC or like a quarterback coach or like a passing game coordinator. But I would imagine, at least with his resume, um, his like win loss record suck shit. But like, he took the fucking Giants to the playoffs with Daniel Jones, um, and won Coach of the Year for that. So
yeah.
a
We'll
year that
see.
they didn't even win the division, which is kind of funny. But that's how bad like the league said that he was a wild card team with the Giants, and people were so impressed that the league gave him an award. People voted to give him an award because he took such a shitty team to the playoffs. So there's a future there for him. I want to see
Now,
where Cliff Kingsbury goes though. That
yeah,
is my he was fired.
that's exactly what I was
Um
gonna bring up was some guys who are being interviewed who are not aren't necessarily head coaches. And yeah, I've seen Cliff Kingsbury linked to the Ravens. Maybe
Ravens, I can see Ravens,
pairing
I
him
can
up
see
with
Raiders.
Lamar.
I can see him in Tennessee though with Cam Ward. That would be interesting. Um But I really hope Cam Ward just gets a competent person around him and they give him an O line and some weapons because again, he is somebody that deserves to have infrastructure because he is that fucking good. He's going to end up like being labeled a bust and then surprising everyone when he's on his second contract with another team and has like an all pro caliber season when he's like a pro bowler. And people are like, oh, wow, were we wrong about Cam Ward? And it's like, yeah, you were. But also, like, you we never apply context to any situation when we're looking at
Poor
this game.
Dallas.
We just look
I
at
think
stats.
a lot of real heads, a lot of the sickos and freaks like us see Cam Ward, what he's doing, and
Orlovsky does, and I
how
mean,
cool it is.
Orlovsky's a huge dork, but he knows ball.
Yeah, he's good at film breakdown stuff, but there's been a couple of little glimpses into his way he acts and thinks in real life that have just like he is like a grade A fucking Nimrod, like dunderhead, just dope. I remember, did you ever see on Twitter one time where he was like, for some reason someone was commenting about how often you wash towels like in the laundry, and he was like, I never wash my towels. I just let them dry and just keep using them over and over. I've never put my towels in the washing machine ever. Everyone was like, oh my god, don't fucking tell people that,
Yeah.
bro. He's
Well,
a
I
dope.
also think I think that's more like not him being a gross guy, and it's more like him not giving his wife credit for like maintaining their household. Like he probably doesn't do anything to help, and is like, well, like I earn the money, so I'm just gonna sit on my ass and like doesn't do the dishes, doesn't do the laundry, does fucking nothing, isn't an equal partner at all. He's just like a piece of shit partner to his wife.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's like, oh, you want me to do the dishes? You see this house?
Oh yeah, do you like
He's like
living in
Tony
this house?
Soprano.
Yeah, just like,
The
and
fucking
then
sacrifices I make for this family.
and she's just like fucking her trainer because he sucks.
And he
And
knows about it.
there's no way he's ever made a woman come. I don't believe that.
You're
Like he's scrambled out of the back of the end zone. You cannot tell me that guy can find a clit. And it's not even that hard. It's just right there. Just look.
all right.
This is like playoffs, baby. Playoffs.
Wait, before that, real quick, I
Playoffs?
also want to talk about how many interviews Vance Joseph is going on. It's got me a little nervous. It's got me a little freaked out.
Yeah,
Broncos defensive coordinator
my advice to you
DJ.
would be to just go ahead and process that and come to peace with the fact that he's going to probably not be your DC next year.
Yeah, he's probably
Um,
gone.
Although I will say this, historically speaking, he has like he has to fight against a little more adversity in the coaching process.
Right.
He is a more than qualified coaching candidate, and he might not get a job. And people will say, "Oh, it's because he's a defensive coach." And look at all these defensive coaches like Gannon and blah 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 that got fired. And like that's just not the trend right now. But we really know what that's about. Um,
Yeah,
like
unfortunately.
He's probably going to get like he'll probably go on more than one like Rooney Rule interview, but
Oh
he deserves to be a head coach because he is phenomenal.
yeah, he's done a great job, and he
He'd be a
famously
good
was the head. He was famously the head
Raven.
coach of the Broncos for a couple seasons, and they were pretty bad. But I feel like guys, you're allowed to have one. Your first head coach job is bad. You go back to being a coordinator, and then you come back to be a head coach a second time, and it goes a lot better. I feel like he's a candidate to be
Yeah.
that.
What if like the Ravens are like I think a perfect team for him because they're historically the defense team.
Oh,
Um, you get him in there, you hire an OC that just does the offense, right? Like the offense is his. Like he's essentially the offensive coach. Doesn't matter. Like you
right.
control that whole part of the team. You let me get my guys in and get my philosophy in place. Give me 2 years because that's what it takes for the defense. It takes like 2 years to get the talent in there and to get everybody up to speed on your program. Um, and then boom, like maybe Lamar gets a ring. But
He definitely.
if you get some like healthy, reliable players on that defense, and then just give like Lamar maybe like a legitimate number one receiver, not a 32-year-old former all pro or like an overrated like short guy who's fast. Um, I think he'll be good. Like if you reload Lamar a little bit on offense, um, that will buy him time to build the defense, and they'll be competitive the first couple seasons. Like that is the most desirable job, I think,
Oh yeah, easily,
hands
easily.
down. But it's like
Um,
Lamar going to push his way out now because there are rumors about that. Um,
yeah,
I wouldn't blame him for doing that. If you look at his contract, the way the market has been reset, like you look at like the money Trevor Lawrence is getting, the money Tua got,
ugh,
even like
God.
the money Jalen is getting, but it's kind of worth it now. Like 50 mil a year, and you got a Super Bowl. I think that's a fair pay
Well, they better figure that
situation
out
for
because
him.
that needs to get settled because if Lamar leaves, that job is no longer desirable, really,
Oh,
in
absolutely.
any way.
Um,
The
and
job
it's like
is Lamar.
Lamar's going to kind of do what he wants and is best for him. Like he doesn't even have an agent, which is
Ugh,
cool. It's like his mom advises him, which is very sick. Lamar is the
that's a little
most
bit of a
down
red
to
flag
earth,
for me.
the down. He's the most down to earth athlete in professional sports. He doesn't code switch. He got his big money contract. He could be in every commercial. He could be the face
Yeah,
of the league if he had a team around him pushing him to do that. But he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to be a corporate robot like Josh Allen or Mahomes, or even like on a smaller scale, Baker Mayfield. He's not
and
interested in that. Dude
that's
just
what I
wants to
think.
ball and be Lamar, and that's fucking sick.
I think that's why he's perfect for Baltimore and why he shouldn't leave because he is that franchise right now. And yeah, when someone doesn't have an agent, that's a bit of a red flag for me. Not because not like a red flag as in like he's a bad person, but red flag as in like you're gonna get taken advantage of if you don't have an agent. I feel like that's a little
I mean, it's worked
irresponsible.
so
But
far. Like,
yeah, I mean, he can
so I
handle it, I
mean, if it
guess.
ain't broke, don't
Maybe his
fix
mom
it.
is like a lawyer or something. I don't know what his
Yeah,
mom's.
I don't know. Maybe she has like an accounting degree or like took some law classes. I don't know. I haven't read enough about the situation, but I do think that is cool because he keeps it in house. He's not getting fucking ripped off by people around him. He's being smart. He keeps his circle small and tight and trustworthy, and then just goes out there and fucking balls. That is cool as shit. He just wants to play football and be Lamar, and that's tight.
Florida man, Lamar
Love it. You
Jackson.
gotta love it, dude.
Yeah,
Can we
he's an
talk?
exciting player. And as far as real quick, as far as the Broncos side
Yeah.
of Vance Joseph probably being gone, I guess I can hope that the personnel is so good, like they have so many good players on defense that
Oh yeah.
not to say that any old dickwad can just come in there and coach them and they'll be good, but there will be a nice amount of continuity, hopefully going into next year. As long as they might lose. Honestly, they might lose one or two of their D linemen because, as we've said on the show before, the Broncos have about 8 guys that could be starting linemen, starting like impact
without a doubt, that
D line
rotation is
guys on
awesome.
other teams. So
And
maybe
if
they
they
have
win a
someone.
Super Bowl,
Oh
oh
yeah,
man, a lot of those guys are going to get so fucking paid.
oh yeah.
Benito's going to get 25, 30 a year. They're going to have to pay him soon. He's so
I think
good.
Benito's been paid. I think he
Oh
got
yeah,
a
he got an
contract.
extension at the beginning of this year, but it's like, here, let's look it up.
Yeah, Nick, 4-year, 106 million extension in
Man,
September.
he's worth more than that.
September of last year. Yeah, still, yeah, he could get an additional big ass payday if
He
they
could
win the
get
Super Bowl.
250. Yeah, like he
And
like
Jonathan
on the
Allen
market.
too.
Another all pro season, he's getting 300 on the open market. Like he's so good. And like not enough people talk about him. Even during the broadcast, like you hear like Chris Collinsworth be like, "Yeah, this Nick Bonito guy, like he's pretty good. Like a young guy, up and comer." And it's like, no, man, he's been dominating for like 2.5
He's
years.
he's the guy. And
Like
he frankly had a bit of a quiet season this year. It's still pretty dominant.
he still
He
had
had sort
double
of a
digit sacks.
he had sort of a slow start to the season. He ramped up as it went on. But yeah, as far, the Broncos defense, like
His first step is
hopefully
insane.
I'm not sure. I'm not. I don't have their coaching staff memorized, but maybe like a linebackers or a D line coach can step up to the DC role and just like keep the system going for another year or two before it has to get broken up for various reasons. So I'm not. But yeah, losing Vance Joseph's gonna be tough. He's definitely made a name for himself. He
It's
already
kind of
had a name for himself before, but now he's really cemented as like an elite coordinator.
Super Bowl or bust for the Broncos right now, man. And like,
Yeah,
dude, they're my favorite like going in to the playoffs.
yeah, I really like their chances. And
If
on
I
the
was a
episode
betting man, I'd put my money on them.
on the episode when David was on the show, he asked me how I felt about the Patriots as in the playoffs, and at that time I was like, yeah, I'm a little worried about Drake May's deep threat, but now that I have more time to think about it, have more time to watch, I like the Broncos' chances against the Patriots because the Patriots did not play a playoff caliber defense pretty much in it, except besides the Bills, I guess, but they're not even close to the level of the Broncos defense. So I would like the Patriots matchup for the Broncos. It might be a shootout, and the Broncos might be behind at some point because the Broncos' offense is not
Hmm.
nearly as efficient and volume heavy as the Patriots' offense. But yeah,
Yeah.
the Patriots didn't play a real defense all year, pretty much. Let's be serious. So when they face they play the Chargers here on Sunday, I guess we can get into the playoff schedule here now.
Yeah, please.
Coming up here, we'll do our pick. Oh, and real quick too, our final tally for the picks for the season. Do you want to hear
Um,
through the regular season?
yeah, I know I lost to you, but let's hear it.
Well, you had a 62% win percentage, 125-78.
Oh hell yeah, I'll take it. That's like top 15 historically.
We had the last week fucked us. Last week brought both of our percentages down at like a couple points because it was such a weird week. I almost wish
People
I
were
didn't
resting starters, and it's the last game of the season.
It's unpredictable.
Um,
Yeah, then
teams are
that's
tanking.
65% for me. Sorry, just real quick. Wanted to brag about
Mhm.
that a little bit.
Okay, so let's finish. Let's figure out what I have to do now. What the punishment is.
Oh, that's no punishment.
No, we got to you have to ask me to do something funny, like a fantasy football thing.
Okay,
Um,
your punishment is you have to be a loyal and caring friend to me for the rest of time.
okay, that sounds like a privilege, and I feel like I'm trying my best to be that right now. I know I can get better, but when can't you?
So yeah, the playoff we'll have a much shorter pick segment now because all the wheat has been separated from the chaff, as they
Okay,
say.
yeah.
Um,
Playoffs?
wild
Will you
card
do the playoffs?
weekends.
You say it like
I,
that?
I did, yeah, I did it last week. I put an echo on it. It was fun. Maybe I'll do it again this year.
We
There's
we do it again
I'll do it again.
right now.
Playoff. I
Will
can't.
you
We're not
dance
done.
for me?
We're not done recording
Playoff.
yet. Playoffs. God bless Jim Mora. Rest in peace.
He's
The
dead.
Saturday games. I think so. I think he died a few years ago. Jim
Must have
Mora.
been. Was it a suicide?
I know.
Jim
No, he's still
Mora.
alive. Oh wait.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
yeah, he's alive because his son Jim Moore Jr. posted like a video of him doing a leg press machine earlier
Oh
this year.
wow. I thought he was dead, dude.
Yeah,
He's
no, he's still
90.
kicking.
What position did he
90
play?
years old.
He played
He's cool.
college football at Occidental College, which is now a Division III school. That's how it probably was Division I when he played in like the
Yeah,
1800s.
before they invented electricity.
He was a tight end. Okay.
Hey, there's
He
a
was a
picture of him working
college roommate
out.
with Jack Kemp.
Can we make that the picture? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Kent
Here,
State
wait.
guy, the guy that started Kent State.
The guy who started Kent State.
Yeah, that's how old he is. Um, there was a
Oh,
picture of
yeah,
him
here
doing
he
a leg
is.
press machine, and
Jim
we should
Mora,
make that the thumbnail.
90th birthday workout. Holy shit, dude. Look at him. He looks
He's putting no
great.
weight.
He
Dude,
looks
he's not stacking
awesome.
plates. Yeah, he's 90, but there's no weight on there. And his form sucks. He's not bringing his knees high enough up.
Man,
His feet are. He has good foot positioning though. I'm all about the leg press machine, my man.
he's a foot guy.
I mean, he just not. His form is
Jim
not great.
Jim Mora, former Occidental tight end. Jim Mora. He was
And
teammates
if
with
I,
Jack Kemp, who was the quarterback for the Bills when they were still in the AFL. That's how old he is. My gosh.
Jesus.
Oh, and
If I'm
his
90
son
years old and still working out, that's embarrassing. Please don't let me do that.
his son
What
is
am I
the head
trying to
coach
live
of
for?
CSU, Colorado State.
That's what he's doing now. I remember he was the coach at U of A for a while. Remember he was the Falcons coach when Vic
Yeah.
went to jail. Playoffs.
Playoffs. All right. So Saturday afternoon,
Playoffs.
the Panthers will be hosting the Rams, even though the Rams have a better record, because the Panthers won the pathetic NFC South. The Panthers did beat the Packers this year, and obviously, they're good enough to have made the playoffs, so they're not. I like Bryce Young.
Are
And
they? Are
I
they
like
good enough? They didn't even beat the Bucks, so like it's just like a weird like math thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a legitimate question. Are they good enough to be in the playoffs?
I saw a really funny stat that the Atlanta Falcons were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs on December 7th, and they tied for first place for the division.
Yeah.
And only lost because of stupid tiebreaker shit. Well, it's not stupid. It's something we gotta have rules at some point. But anyway, Rams at Panthers. Yeah, the Rams. You obviously the instinct for me is to say, yeah, the Rams should easily win this game, but frankly, they've kind of blown it the past few weeks, honestly, dude. Like they lost to the Seahawks in that crazy game. They lost to the Falcons in Monday Night Football, and they didn't exactly cover themselves in glory in the Cardinals game in the last game of the season, a game they did win by a lot, but like they were having a little bit
they
of
scored
trouble.
like garbage time points. Like they were struggling for a lot of that game.
Yeah, it was closer than the score indicates. Not to say that there was a serious chance that the Cardinals were going to win, but like I don't know. They were the only reason they played their starters in that game is because of how bad the Falcons loss was. I mean, immediately after they lost to the Falcons, McVay was asked, "You guys can play your starters next week," and he's like, "Yeah, we have to. We have to like get into game. We have to like get serious." So I don't. The Rams were considered Super Bowl favorites a few weeks ago, but they have shown signs of weakness. It's not to say they can't go on a run. Obviously, they're still a great team with a great coach and a great quarterback and a great defense and lots of great stuff going on. But I suppose I am going to still pick the Rams. I don't think I'm not, but I think this game will be close. I think they will like narrowly beat the Panthers and then probably lose to whoever they play next, dude. Because they're not going to be at home, probably. Right? Because they'd probably be playing a division winner after in the divisional round. So
depending on the seed, like the lower seed gets home field, right?
Right.
Yeah, the Rams are going to win this game. It would be fun if like the Panthers won and like Rico Dowdle like has like a huge like 240-yard on the ground game, maybe like a receiving touchdown, but like it's not going to happen. The Panthers have like the bones of something that they can put together to be an impressive team, but they're not there yet, in my opinion. Give them a couple more years. Give them a couple more drafts. It seems like T-Mac was a good pick, and he's going to be a good player for them for a while. They need some help on defense. I don't know, man. I I, I can't not pick the Rams. Like just like
No.
the more talented roster and Sean McVay. Like I don't care that it's on the road. Like that would be a massive upset to me. And
Yeah.
I can't even go there. I do have an upset pick, and I'm not going to waste it on this game. I got to take the Rams. Maybe it's like 31-24 or whatever, or like
Yeah.
24-17, and like they keep it a game. But like Rico Dowdle hasn't had over 60 yards in like the last like 6 games. Like he kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Um,
He had that 200-yard game, and then it was.
you're a big Bryce Young guy, and I respect that about you because you've made me see Bryce Young in a new light. Um, but I don't think this is his year to win a playoff game. It's very cool that he made it, but they had to have the Falcons win for him to even go. Like they couldn't do
Yeah.
shit against like a banged up Bucks, like an old banged up Bucks defense. I get that it was in the rain or whatever, but they're not winning this game. There's a reason it's the Saturday afternoon game.
Yeah, I'm looking at Rico Dowdle's game logs in the game against Miami in week 18. In week 14, I think he had 23 carries for 206 yards, and then following that week, these are the rest of his 4 games after that: 9 carries for 32 yards, 10 carries for 30 yards, 6 carries for 9 yards, and then 3 carries for 12 yards. So I don't know if he got like banged up but he definitely fell off.
Yeah.
He only had 3 games with over 100 yards, and then besides those games, he never had more than 80.
Yeah.
And in
Call
most
him
of
the
these
Lindbergh
games,
baby,
it's
the way he fell off.
10 yards, 59 yards, 29 yards, 49 yards. Like, yeah, he had a couple breakout games, and then outside of that, it was not much. So yeah, I don't know. The Rams are probably gonna win this game. Now the evening game, on Saturday here in the playoffs. Legendary matchup for the 3rd time this season: Packers at Bears.
Ooh.
My girlfriend is very nervous for this game. She's worried about the Packers matchup, but I told her when it was like when we didn't know who the Bears were going to be facing, and it was like we knew it was going to be likely like Niners, Rams, or Packers. I was telling her like, you should want the Packers matchup. I think that is the best. I think that is the best option out of those 3 at least for the Bears. Like, not that they're gonna like destroy them or like roll them, but like I just think that's a better matchup for the Bears. I think the Packers are sort of maybe not limping into the playoffs, but they're not sending their best.
I'm going Bears on it. Oh,
really?
Sorry. What were you gonna say?
No, nothing. You're going Bears?
I'm going Bears, yeah, man. Their offense, like Caleb Williams, like you say, is John Elway. Like he can just turn it on and completely take over a game. Like he has that it factor. The way he extends plays, the way he's seeing the field right now, the way he's throwing with touch and timing, and his deep balls are great. They have like legitimate homegrown, like drafted and developed talent at receiver too, and at tight end. Their defense is worrisome. They really need a pass rusher, and also they need a pass rusher, and they need another corner. And then I would trust them to like go all the way.
Be a 1 seed.
But it also wouldn't surprise me if the Bears wind up in the Super Bowl. The way things have been going, it just seems like this is like the hot new quarterback coach pairing, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. They're going to do big things. It would not surprise me if they take this momentum and roll with it and win a Super Bowl one bit. And look, I like the Packers. I got punched in the face at Soldier Field wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey with David. I'm not a Bears guy, but I got the Bears winning this game.
Forgot about that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
all due respects to Mary, who is a wonderful and beautiful person. But the Bears win this game, unfortunately.
I've had a real hard time picking against the Bears all season. So
yeah,
I'm going with the Bears again.
Especially like the second half of the season when they just kind of turned it on and it was like, oh shit. Yeah, they just need to kind of like stabilize things a little bit, and they're fucking rolling.
Yeah, the biggest fear for them should be obviously the pass rush and just sort of the defense in general. But the offenses should be able to take care of business. Like
Is CJ
we
Gardner
saw
Johnson
them.
going to play?
I don't know.
He
I'm
was
not
helped
sure.
off the field. It looked like they were holding his arm, like trying to keep his shoulder stable.
Yeah,
Um, and that's his thing, man. He plays bigger than he is, so he's always banging up his funny little body because he's just a little guy. He's a little itty bitty guy. He's like my size, but hits like a
damn.
behemoth. Yeah, I love that guy.
Um,
He's like one of my
I-
favorite Eagles. And he's very frustrating because once he leaves your team, he will like fucking irritate you, just like with the amount of shit he talks. But like when he's on your side, man, I don't love a player more.
yeah, it looks like he's going to be in the concussion protocol, so
Yeah,
he might not play this week.
yeah. The way
He
they were
could play.
holding his arm, I thought maybe it was a shoulder, but that sucks. That's a huge blow to their defense. But I don't know the way things have been going for the Pack. I just don't think they can keep up with the injuries they've had on defense. I don't think they can keep up with this Bears offense if they get cooking. That's what I'm looking at. And their ground game is awesome too, man. Like both phases of the game on offense. Once they click, if they're rolling, they'll just steamroll your ass. It
Yeah,
gets out of hand quick.
the Packers just kind of haven't had juice. Is the real juice all season? Like they're still good. They're still a formidable team. They're obviously in the playoffs, and they fought and clawed their way into the playoffs, and like you got to commend them for that. But I don't think they're real title contenders this season.
No.
They were going into it, but then when we saw what happened in the field, it just doesn't seem to be exactly
Yeah.
working. And Jordan Love was in the concussion protocol last week, so I'm sure he'll play, but he's probably not going to be 100%.
If
Everybody's
Malik
banged up
Willis
at
gives
this
you a
point,
chance,
obviously.
though, he's good. Malik's gonna get like
Oh
a
yeah.
Daniel Jones contract. He's gonna be
Oh yeah.
starting for someone next year.
Cardinals maybe.
At Cardinals, maybe the Steelers. I think it'd be fun to like get him in with the team that maybe has a little more structure in place, so he can actually have a good career, like good second act to his career. But I don't know, Minnesota needs a QB. I know that they love JJ McCarthy, but maybe bring him in and have a little comp and like worst case scenario, you get a more than competent backup that you're paying a little extra money. But like the way JJ McCarthy gets hurt all the time, that's an expensive insurance policy, but you're
you
more than
need that.
likely cashing that sucker in.
You definitely need that if you're Minnesota. Now we move on to the Sunday games. Sunday at noon.
Sunday.
We've got Bills at Jaguars. Bills did not
Man,
win the
fun
division.
game.
So
Yeah.
they have to go on the road to North Florida, where they are favored on the road against
That's
the
cute.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I got Jags, man. I'm taking the Jags.
Yeah, I'm really.
Yeah, they've been popping lately. I have no reason to believe they're going to slow down. Trevor Lawrence has found himself. Remember, we were talking about that like a few times earlier this year. It's like, is he going to be the guy? And like, I didn't believe in it, but like the last 4 weeks, like it seems like things just kind of clicked into place for him in this offense, and he's
Yeah.
making all of the throws. He's using his legs too. He's not known as like a running guy, but he's an athlete, man. He can scramble.
And he's big.
Yeah, he's a huge dude. He's like 6'5", 6'6".
It's not easy to bring him down.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game, and I'm taking the Jags. And if I think I said this to you earlier, but if you would have told me in August, like, yeah, the Jaguars are like playing a home playoff game against the Bills, like first round, I would have been like, holy shit, Travis Hunter's the real deal.
Yeah.
But he's going to be in sweats.
Yeah, he'll be in civvies for this one. Unfortunately, I'm really looking forward to see
What was his
does.
injury? Like, was it like a knee thing? I can't even remember.
My instinct is to say knee. I could have sworn.
I wonder if he can come back, but he wasn't really like productive anyway.
The resurgence of Trevor Lawrence makes me now. You know, we have our hindsight glasses on here, but it's like the guy was. When we talked about this on another episode too, like the guy was a number 1 overall pick, and it was like the can't miss prospect of the century, pretty much. And and now I'm looking back on it thinking like, how bad were these other fucking coaches and offensive coordinators that they couldn't get this out of this guy before? Like, it's been there the whole time.
I mean, we see it so much, right? We like
Yeah.
there's another guy in Florida who had he was written off as a bust, and
Mm-hmm.
it looked like he was destined to
Mm-hmm.
be a journeyman, and he's revived his career. Like, it's just bad coaching can be fucking disastrous to a guy. Think of all the guys throughout like the last 20 years we've labeled busts and have been like, oh, fuck that guy. What a piece of shit. But he was really never given a chance from the start.
And he's all honestly, now that I think
Because
about it
Ken
too,
Wisenhunt was his coach or whatever.
Trevor Lawrence has done a good job of. He doesn't get injured really all that much, does he?
Yeah, he got hurt last year. Remember Mac Jones had to play a whole bunch?
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but he was
Yeah,
also kind of like cheap shotted. Like,
he missed. He missed 7. He only started 10 games last year and went 2-8 as the starter. But yeah, this is his first
isn't that funny how that
year.
works? It's like wins and losses aren't a quarterback stat until it's like a lopsided losing record. Then it's like, then this guy can't win.
I think okay. Here's my thing.
And I'm not
Here's
saying
I
that
have
about you. That's like in general.
the QB wins people wins with the Z. They say it like mockingly to people that talk about QB wins. Like obviously, I don't think QB wins are like a stat. Like passing yards or
Pitcher.
like completion yards over expected. Like it's not an advanced stat, but like it matters. It is a record. Like I do think it's like worth bringing up in certain contexts. Like Trevor Lawrence went 2-8 last year as a starter. Like that's in the books. Like sorry. Anyway, yeah, he's playing the best ball of his career. But I am gonna go to vote the Bills with this one. But it's tough. I don't know if I want to change my answer or not. I'm gonna stick with the Bills. I'm a Bills guy, but yeah, I could. It does seem like that would be an upset, even though they're the betting favorites. Bills winning still feels like it would be an upset just because Trevor's playing so well right now, and their defense is pretty good too. Their defense gets a lot of turnovers. Um,
Playoff
Now we go on
Trevor's coming.
to your game, 49ers at Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
By 49ers by virtue of losing that game to Seattle, fall from could have been the 1 seed, could have won their division. Now they have to go on the road in wild card weekend and play the defending champs. I like the Eagles' chances in this game. I know they've had their issues this season and they've had sort of a topsy-turvy roller coaster season, but the Niners are so banged up on defense, and even though they do have an elite offense, I believe, like they're gonna put some points
Yeah,
on the
their
board. But
offense is so good.
the Eagles' strength of their whole team is the defense. So if anyone
Yeah.
can slow down, like the game plan for winning against the 49ers is, bend don't break when they have the ball. Like they're gonna
Mhm.
put some if they're gonna put some points out, they're gonna make some elite plays with Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy and George Kittle and all that. But
I don't know if Kittle's going
if
to
you
play. I don't know if
if
Trent Williams is healthy or if Kittle's healthy.
if a defense that's playing in San Francisco can just shut them down a little bit and and score some points, it should be an easy win. I feel like this should be not a blowout, not like an ass kicking, but it should be like the Eagles never trail in this game. I is where I'm at.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, maybe they'll. I mean, they are the Eagles. Maybe they'll go down. Maybe they'll go down in the second half and then have a field goal or something. But I don't know. I'm going Eagles.
So that offense, the Niners offense, Trent Williams is questionable, and so is Ricky Pearsall.
Right.
Um, but look, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick the Niners. Yeah, you sound very far away. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I thought I could sneak away real quick and get my laptop charger, but you scared me by picking the Niners. Are you really picking
Oh,
the
my
Niners?
bad. I am going to pick the Niners. And look, everything everyone is saying, including yourself, like this should be an easy win for this offense, and like there is a large enough sample size given a few games that to say confidently that I expect this Eagles offense to be a sputtering, embarrassing fucking mess. Um, they'll get up to like they'll get like a 14 or 17 point lead and then we'll choke at halftime. That's what they do to less talented teams. Um, I understand that the defense is bad or whatever, but you have Shanahan and you have some really dynamic players on offense that have been fucking rolling lately. Um, I don't trust Nick Sirianni and Patullo to put together a game plan and to call a game that is going to be consistently aggressive and putting their players in the right places to make big plays and to score enough points to win this game. Um, and also there is the chance that this comes down to a kick. It comes down to Jake Elliott, who has not been good this year.
No, he hasn't.
And then I got absolutely like torn apart. I got accused of having a like a developmental disability or a cognitive disorder on the Eagles subreddit because I said that we need to cut Jake Elliott and bring in a guy off the street. When you have enough proof of concept this season it's possible to find a big strong leg that is consistent on the street. There is a wealth of talent out there. It's the supply is bigger than the demand right now. Supply heavily outweighs demand. Um, so yeah, look, do I think that the Eagles are going to win? Yeah, I do. Am I picking them to win? No, I'm not going to pick them to win this game. I don't trust Sirianni. I do not like him. I think Patullo is a pud and a loser. Um, I think Jalen Hurts, there are things he doesn't want to do. I don't trust them to like put the QB run game in the game plan now that it's the playoffs. Like, I don't think they're going to flip this switch. I think Sirianni wants to play conservative ball control football, and he can't do that right now because his quarterback won't run and his O line has regressed and has been injured. Um, and also, he has a quarterback that won't throw over the middle of the field. Doesn't like to do it. It's not his thing. And we have receivers that thrive over the middle of the field, but we're not throwing the ball there. So there's like 4 plays we're going to call. You're going to see a lot of like 3rd and 9 coward draws. Tank Bigsby has kind of been a more impactful runner of the ball than Saquon this year, but he's probably not even going to get a single touch. They're just going to do everything they can to lose this game and then get mad when people criticize them. And we're stuck with Sirianni for a couple of seasons because we were dumb enough to let him win a Super Bowl with a perfect roster and a great OC. So yeah, I'm picking the Niners. This Sirianni doesn't deserve to win this game. I think the Eagles. I do believe the Eagles are capable of making a Super Bowl run, given the state of the conference and the quality of the teams that are in the field. But they should have been absolutely running away with some of these games. They should not be a 5-loss team, a 6-loss team. They're 11-6. There are 2 games they should have lost this year, and they choked a number of those losses away, or they had poor clock management or just like really incompetent play calling that caused those losses. So no, I don't expect them like to not waste this opportunity at going back to back, which you don't get a lot. Even if you win a Super Bowl, you don't get a legitimate chance to go back to back all the time because of like turnover and regression.
It's hard to do back-to-back conference championship appearances today.
Exactly.
Like it's tough unless you're the Chiefs.
We just won the division for the 2nd time in a row and for like 21 years. The last time it happened was 05.
Yeah, the NFC East hasn't had
2005 season. Yeah. So, no, I think they'll win, but I'm not picking them to win, and that's my pick.
Yeah, if I could just go back to you brought up Jake Elliott, and I like looking at especially once the season's over and everything's all set. I like looking at the kicking stats because it's just so straightforward. It's like you get brought on the field to do one exact thing, and we have all the stats for it, like how many you made, how many you missed. Like it's one of the more straightforward positions statistically.
It's like missionary.
It's missionary with the lights on. That's why I love it. It's my favorite.
I like that too. I think missionary is very intimate. and you can kiss and you see each other, like, you don't love your wife if you're not doing missionary. I love missionary. I love my
Of
wife. I love experiencing her entire being.
of the 37 beautiful boys who took kicks on an NFL field this year, Jake Elliott is 35th in uh, field goal percentage. He only made 74.1% of his kicks. His league average is 85. And he's that's pretty
Yeah.
bad. He
Yeah,
played all
and, you know,
17 games. Just yeah, it's
he's
that
got
was a
the
little
yips right now, man.
when I was looking at this at the end of the season, I was a little surprised to see him all the way down there because in my head I'm like, oh, Jake Elliott, Eagles, good offense. Yeah, he's probably like a top 10 kicker. No, he's a bottom 3 kicker in
I
the
wouldn't be
league. Like
surprised if he misses a PAT in this game and then we lose because we don't convert a 2-point conversion that we had to convert. Like,
jeez, oh my god.
that's Eagles football in the year of our Lord 2026. And I think I really want to move on because this is deeply depressing. But
Okay, okay, okay.
I've had weeks to like make peace with this and not be upset anymore.
All right.
I didn't even
Well,
watch the Raiders game barely. I watched like a couple plays. I was pissed. I'm surprised they beat them, to be honest with you.
yeah, that was gross.
And then like
Well,
I don't know. I think resting the starters is smart, but also like I watched the Bears lose to the Lions, and then a second later, um, the Eagles blow that game where we should have beat the Commanders with our backups even. Um, it was just bad. It's bad stuff. It's too much bad energy. Yes, on paper they can make a Super Bowl run. That is true, but I don't see it happening.
all right, the Sunday night game, we've got Chargers at Patriots.
Nice. That's a
Uh
fun fucking matchup. That's like a 2007 AFC Conference Championship game.
yeah, I think that's funny. I think this was the exact matchup in 2007. I think that
Fuck
was like
yeah.
the Chargers' best team ever. And unfortunately, also the Patriots' best team ever. Then they of course lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, I think this low key might be the game I'm looking forward to most this entire weekend. I think it has a chance to be the best game, like entertainment wise.
Mhm.
Two high octane offenses going up against each other. Two interesting coaching matchup too. Tough guy with a little baby voice, Mike Vrabel, going up against the human version of SpongeBob, Jim Harbaugh. And as I said earlier, the Patriots have not faced a serious defense pretty much at all season, which is why part of the reason why Drake May is an MVP candidate and likely winner. This is it's definitely going to be the first time they've probably seriously been tested. Like the Chargers defense can hang. I think they're probably I don't think it's that crazy to say they're a top 5 defense, maybe top 3 personnel wise and coaching wise. And so for that reason, I'm picking the Chargers. And I'm not, I feel like I'm not just being a Patriots hater. I just think this is like the first, like really like do or die get. Like the Patriots are kind of coasting all season. Like they've had one of the easy, I think I saw the DVOA guy post that they've had the 3rd easiest schedule by DVOA since 1978.
Whoa.
And it's I'm not sitting here saying that Drake May like sucks and he's like a fake like
Hey,
phony.
he
I
threw
just think
5
like
touchdown passes in a game, dude.
yeah, okay, well who against who?
The Browns. What's your point? He's the MVP because he
I
did that.
just I think they get rattled. I think that the Patriots have not been rattled all season, and I think they're going to face some adversity. And Justin Herbert's going to, and frankly, the Patriots' defense is really not much to write home about. I don't
No,
think
yeah.
there's not a whole lot going on there for them on defense. Like they're not that they're like awful or anything, but I don't think like who is their. Do they have like a lockdown corner? Do they have like a crazy pass rush guy? Not
Christian
really.
Gonzalez is good, and he's an interior D lineman, but Milton Williams was having a really good year, and he looked like he was worth all the money they gave him. But then he's hurt. Um, so yeah, I mean that's a good point. Like all intents and purposes, like Herbert and Harbaugh and the fellas should feast on this defense.
Yeah,
Um, it's in Foxborough though, right?
it's in Foxborough because they won the East.
I'm gonna
And you
pick the
know,
Pats. I think I don't trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs. Um,
yeah.
I would like for him to prove me wrong. I love the idea of Justin Herbert, like as a person, um, and the quarterback, right? Like he's just like kind of like a shy dude that is handsome and good at football and wants to go fishing and like hike. He seems very chill, but I don't know. General rule of thumb, don't trust the Chargers in the playoffs, but like I
Yeah.
really don't trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs. And then if they do win, that's a John Harbaugh or a Jim Harbaugh win, and that sucks. That's not what I want to see.
Probably cheating.
Yeah, absolutely cheating. So yeah, I'm gonna go Pats. Pats at home. I think Drake May is very, very good.
No,
Um,
he is. He is.
yeah, no, and I know that you weren't saying that, but I like Drake May. I like him in this offense. Um, I think they're uh, Chef strangling wide receiver is going to be playing too. Um,
Yeah, that the Stephon Diggs thing, you know, besides all of his legal troubles that he's in, because he's a piece of shit, abusive asshole. I feel like the honeymoon's about to be over because this is the cycle that Stephon Diggs goes through in his career. Is that he arrives at a team, he plays really well, has a great relationship with the quarterback, and then he starts getting in trouble, and the wheels come off, and he freaks out
yeah,
and has to leave. So I'm guessing at some point, like by like week 9 of next week, it's gonna be like Stephon Diggs yelling in the locker room, Stephon Diggs, Drake May, Mike Vrabel clashing, like that. This relationship's
yeah,
coming to an end, and it might start. The wheels might start come off in this game. If the Chargers are like down by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter,
yeah. And
we
a
might
fan
see a
says
little.
something mean to him.
Yeah, we might see some sideline freakouts from Mr. Diggs.
I think
And
he
now
has like a borderline personality disorder.
he's got some
There's
kind
something
of
wrong with
disorder.
him. Hey, I got disorder and dead order. I'm extra hungry today.
Disorder. Yeah, what are you trying to get on this KFC order, bud? And
Hey,
to wrapping up the NFL wildcard weekend, no longer referred to as Super Wildcard Weekend for whatever reason.
what the fuck?
Well,
Why not?
I don't know, buddy. Talk to Goodell about it on
That is
Monday
fucking
night.
bullshit. I'm not
We're,
watching now.
we're getting a
What is
Monday
it
night
even brought
playoff
to us by
game.
Pepsi anymore?
I don't, dude, don't even. It's probably brought to us by SoFi.
Oh,
On Monday night, we've got another example of a team that won a shitty division hosting a far better team. Texans will have to travel to Pittsburgh to play the Schittsburg Steelers and
Pittsburgh.
conspiracy theorist Aaron Rodgers.
I wish it was Pittsburgh.
This game is a complete waste of everyone's time. I think
I like
the Texans are gonna fucking put Aaron Rodgers in the graveyard. I think this will be an easy win. The Texans will probably never be behind at all. The Pittsburgh fans are going to be booing by the fourth quarter. Like I think this is going to be ugly. I think this is going to be like the most lopsided and worst game of the whole weekend. I think the Texans are going to win like 30-0.
Yeah.
The defense is going to score a touchdown. Like the Texans defense is really fucking good. Like this is one of the best defenses we've seen in years, and they're definitely a Super Bowl caliber defense. Like, and the Steelers' offense is a complete waste of everyone's time. Thank you, Texans.
I agree. The Texans are going to win. You said everything.
It said it all.
Yeah.
Say it all. Say it all. Yeah, but not much to really say about that one. I think
say my name. Say my name.
I will be
Nobody's around
shocked
you.
if the Steelers could score more than like 14 points. I'll be flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. I just don't. Even
I think he's
I know
weird asshole.
DK Metcalf is coming back in this game, so that gives you a little bit of hope if you're a Steelers fan. But I think even Steelers fans don't think they're going to win this game. Like, I think they're ready for. I think what happened to Baltimore Harbaugh could have easily happened to Mike Tomlin. Like we could be having the same exact conversation of being like, yeah, Mike Tomlin's a great coach, but it's just been too long and they need to change the pace. But they won the game and they made the playoffs, so he's not gonna get fired again.
I hope we got a Monday night game. I hope we have an appearance by Steelers superfan Brett Michaels. I hope you get him down there in his little tight jeans, swinging around a terrible towel, like he's like dressed a full outfit from the Buckle. He's down there having a good time, nothing but a good time. But yeah, they're gonna lose. It's gonna be a bad time. And then Aaron Rodgers is gonna make the whole offseason about himself. And there's gonna be like a weird thing where like he's gonna be like pouty in the media about like the Steelers. They didn't kiss my forehead and tell me I was the best. So I imagine he's got to be done. He's gonna go hang out with his imaginary wife, who she just goes to a different school. But yeah, Texans baby. I hope Derek Barnett gets a sack. He's my friend, and by that I mean we hung out for 30 minutes one time, and he said he liked me. Not trying to brag.
I've got a bone to pick with your other friend Tony Jefferson, dude. Did you see what he said?
Mm-mm.
After the Chargers lost to the Broncos in Week 18, he was walking back to the locker room, and in front of the camera, he goes like, "Fuck the Broncos! I hate everyone on that team. I don't respect them at all. And except for this one, he has like one guy on the team that he went to college with or something. It's like except for so and so.
It's probably Nick Bonito.
Hey, it wasn't Nick Bonito. It was somebody else. I can't remember. But he was like,
just emotions are high after a loss. It's a division game. Like
I still like him though because he's your friend. And his name's Tony.
I would let that go in one ear and out the other. It's not a nice thing to say, but I don't think he believes that.
After, go back to the Steelers for a second. After losses, I've noticed that Aaron Rodgers kind of turns into Garth from Wayne's World. So here's my prediction for the game: is that Aaron Rodgers goes like 12 of 35 for 170 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, gets sacked 4 times. And then in the press conference, he's going to be like, they're going to ask him like, "Hey, what went wrong? What happened when you guys made that huge mistake on offense? What do you have to say about that?" And he'll be like, "I don't know. Just gotta get some better calls. It communication wasn't really good. So."
God, that was so good.
I just hate it.
That's such a chill down my spine, Anthony. Yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a really bad guy.
He needs to retire too. Just enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with him. It was fun for a while when he was just like smug and charming, but now that he's like an actual psycho, it sucks. I feel bad for his wife, who's definitely being emotionally abused. I feel like that's not a crazy thing to say. That more likely than not, Aaron Rodgers is an emotionally and probably verbally abusive partner. Danica Patrick said as much about her time in the Raj Lodge. That's what I call his house. So yeah, my point is Texans are going to win, and they're going to win big because, buddy, everything's bigger in Texas.
And that's a good place to wrap it up, I think, for this week. We'll catch you next week for the divisional round and give our thoughts. We'll see the first appearance of the respective 1 seeds, the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks, who are going to sit back and watch everyone beat each other up and see who they face.
Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoy a wholesome and Christ-like football weekend.
Please. Yeah, emphasis on the Christ-like. Thank you, folks. And always with you. What do Catholics say? What's their little mantra?
Peace be with you. And always with you.
And always with you. Thank you, folks.